In health news, a study suggests that artificial sweeteners are not a good alternative to sugar for many people. The new research published in the journal Nature found that artificial sweeteners may disrupt the body's ability to regulate blood sugar. They could ultimately contribute, if you can believe it, to obesity. Catherine Nagler is a pathologist at the University of Chicago, and she joins us from there via Skype. Dr. Nagler, thank you so much for being here with us. I do appreciate it. You are bursting my big artificial sweetener balloon. How is this possible? Tell us what the study found.
Well, first, let's emphasize this is a mouse model study, and we don't have definitive data on people yet. So what the study found is that artificial sweeteners given to mice cause a rise in blood sugar levels to a greater extent than administration of glucose itself. The authors were able to attribute this to the bacteria in the mouse's gut.
Okay, so as far as I understand it, this rise in blood sugar and a high blood sugar can be a causative factor or a contributing factor in developing diabetes. So that sort of makes sense. But parse out a little bit more for me what role these gut bacteria, the bacteria found in the GI tract, what role they play in this.
Well, what the authors showed was, in an elegant set of experiments, that they could take the bacteria from the guts of the mice and transplant them into new mice that had never received any artificial sweeteners at all, and replicate the effect that they saw in the mice that had been treated with artificial sweeteners. How the gut bacteria is doing this is not clear at all yet.
I want to go back to this whole point that these artificial sweeteners caused in this study, at least in the mice, a rise in blood sugar. Can you explain how that even happens? If these artificial sweeteners can't be digested, so how does it happen?
Right. So that's the big question. We don't have any data yet on the mechanism. We don't know how the artificial sweeteners are interacting with the bacteria at all. All we know so far is that the artificial sweeteners seem to be disrupting the bacteria in a way that's contributing to this rise in blood glucose.
And in this effect, are all artificial sweeteners created equally? Because there are different ones. There are, of course, saccharin, as well as, I've now lost the names of the other ones, but the yellow packet and the blue packet, Splenda, are they all the same?
Well, that's one of the things that's interesting about this study, is that biochemically, the artificial sweeteners that were studied are all different from each other, and yet in the end result, the rise in blood sugar was the same. So that's one of the many questions left to be answered: why biochemically different molecules are having the same effect.
So does this study tell us enough to then get people to change their behavior or their consumption of artificial sweeteners?
So I think what this study tells us is that we need to do more research and reassess our use of artificial sweeteners. I don't think it's conclusive. It doesn't suggest that any recommendations need to be made to change our use of artificial sweeteners yet, but it does call for more research.
Yeah, something to keep our eye on. Dr. Catherine Nagler, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this is Arise America.